Hello everyone. This video will cover micro E-mini versus the E-mini S&P in which you should be trading. If you haven't downloaded the free trading guide, you can go ahead and visit DayTradeToWin.com and download the free simulator to start your trading journey. Remember, trading is risky. Talk to your broker before trading live.
Take a moment and see if you can tell the difference between both of these charts. As you can see, the signals from the Atlas line are the same. Also, the trade scalper signals are the same. Well, what's the difference? If you look very closely, you can see that on the left, we are working with an E-mini S&P 500 chart. That is what the ES0920 stands for. On the right, we have a micro E-mini futures chart, MES0920. The price activity is exactly the same. The signals are exactly the same. Well, what's the difference and why should you trade the MES over the E-mini or vice versa? First, it's important to recognize that the CME group is where the E-mini and micro E-mini are traded. It's an exchange. It's the world's largest financial derivatives exchange and trades in asset classes that include agricultural products, currencies, energy, interest rates, metals, and stock indexes. The website is cmegroup.com, and if you go there, you can find out information about micro E-mini futures, for example. As you can see, the micro E-mini is 1/10 the size of a classic E-mini contract. Well, what does that do for you? It's more affordable. They say it gives all traders a simple, cost-efficient way to access the liquid equity index futures markets. And as we point out here, you can trade more than the E-mini in terms of micro E-minis. You can trade the NASDAQ, which would be MNQ rather than MES, the Russell, which is M2K, and also the Dow Jones Industrial Average, which is MYM. Now, how do you access those markets in NinjaTrader? Well, you can access the micro E-minis by going up to this area of the chart and then begin typing what you want. I'm going to hit the backspace key, and you can see this turns into a large list of different instruments. So begin typing what you want, and you can use this list that I have up here. I had MES selected on this chart, as you recall, but for example, if we want to look at the NASDAQ 100, we would type in MNQ, and sure enough, there it is. It's MNQ Future Micro E-mini NASDAQ Futures. Click on that, and because we have real-time data loading up, we need to wait for a moment, and then we can see the signals and the real-time data. Those are some pretty nice looking signals, by the way, with the trade scalper providing these long and double wick long signals and the Atlas line providing this main short signal here. You can take a look at more of our courses on our courses page, which is available at our website, DayTradeToWin.com. Go to the all courses and software page, and you can see that we have the trade scalper, Atlas line, and at the open too, along with our 8-week mentorship program. To better understand this whole thing, let's take a look at how the E-mini S&P 500 is structured. So right now I have an empty E-mini S&P chart, and on the right-hand side we have the price scale. Now if I zoom into the chart, you will see that the scale also becomes filled with incremental price values of 0.25. You can see we go from 0.00 to 0.25, then to 0.50 and 0.75. So this goes up and down in quarter points. And on the E-mini S&P, this is worth $12.50. So let's go back to the Notepad application here and write that down. So each tick, as it's called, that's an increment up or down. So one tick of the E-mini is worth $12.50. That would be USD, of course, US dollars. In trading terminology, 1 point is equal to 4 ticks. So 4 ticks, which would be 1250 times 4 equals $50. And as I said a moment ago, 4 ticks is 1 point. So, in other words, 1 point equals $50. To show you this visually, we have essentially from here to here, that's a value of $12.50, another $12.50, and so on. When we have 4 of these values from $34.90 to $34.91, this is worth $50. Now, if you trade with more than one contract, then you have to multiply your profit or loss. This information is covered in our other trading videos, so I'm not going to go into further detail. But now it's worth looking at the MES market in comparison. So let's load up that market here, MES. There it is, futures. So let's try to fill in the gaps here so that we can understand how the MES is structured. Recall that earlier I mentioned that the micro E-mini is worth 1/10 the value of the E-mini, which is shown above. Therefore, we could do the math and figure out what 1/10 $12.50 is, and that would be $1.25. But let's pause for a moment and take a look at the chart quickly. You can see that, as noted before, the price movement is the same, and really you're still dealing with quarter point moves, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, and so on. So this structure is the same. We're just dealing with different values for price. That's why the MES is considered more affordable. So going back to this display here, if you find out 1/10 of $12.50, you're left with $1.25. So it's simple. We can just complete this as follows. So 1 tick of the MES is worth $1.25 USD. Continuing further, 4 ticks, which is $1.25 times 4 equals $5, which of course has to be 1/10 of $50. In other words, 1 point of the MES equals $5. Feel free to pause the video here and take a look at this a few times and try to understand what I'm saying. We also have this web page here. Type this out if you need to. We will post a link to this page in the video description on YouTube. On that page, we have this useful graphic which breaks down the different E-minis. We have the MES worth $5 as we just discussed, the M2K, which is the Russell. We have the MNQ worth $2 and the MYM worth 50 cents. Again, those values come from the value of the ticks. You have a 0.25 tick increment for the E-mini S&P as we discussed. The same is true for the NASDAQ. That is not true, however, for the Russell, which uses 0.1 tick increments, and the E-mini Dow Jones Industrial Average, which uses 1 tick increments. The valuations are different as well, so make note of that. Let's wrap this up by discussing what you can do with micro E-mini futures that you might not be able to do with regular E-mini futures. Well, first of all, because the micro E-minis are less expensive to trade, that gives you the option possibly to control a greater number of contracts with reduced cost. Whereas if you could only trade with 1 or 2 E-mini contracts, you can now trade with more contracts with your MES. And that would be done here if you're using a Superdome by specifying the amount or quantity of contracts in this area here. Now, if you have more positions, you can exit at different targets. Consider a trailing stop and staying in winning trades longer. This all goes back to affordability. To trade stock, sometimes you need $25,000. For regular E-mini trading, you might need $3,000 or more. Micro E-mini trading can be done with an account size as low as $400. Of course, that depends on the broker. NinjaTrader Brokerage does offer account funding as low as $400. But keep in mind, if you fund your account with the minimum, then that's a smaller buffer in case you do incur some losses. We recommend having a larger funding amount than that to start with. As always, we recommend practicing with real-time futures data. If you have questions about NinjaTrader or how to get started with any of our courses and software, visit our website, DayTradeToWin.com, and then go to the contact page. This is our support email and our phone number. It's best to email us first if you have any questions, and of course you can complete the contact form here. Thank you for watching.
If you want to learn more about trading, visit DayTradeToWin.com, subscribe to the DayTradeToWin YouTube channel, the next mentorship class where we cover all of these methods with lifetime licenses for the software.